Chapter 9, Mishnah 9. The Mishnah discusses what proof a woman must bring in order to collect her Kesuba payment. Usually, a woman cannot collect the payment unless she shows her Kesuba document. In some places, however, it was the practice not to write a Kesuba document. The Mishnah teaches how a woman can collect her Kesuba in such places. If a woman came to court to claim her Kesuba and she produced a get, document of divorce, which shows that she was divorced, but there is no Kesuba document with it, she could collect her Kesuba even if her husband says that he already paid her. Although she has no proof that he still owes her, the rabbis decree that she is entitled to her Kesuba as though she were holding the document in her hands. The opposite situation. She produced a Kesubah document, even though it was not customary in that place to write one, but there's no get with it. The absence of her get indicates that she was paid. But she says, my get was lost. As for the husband, if he had already paid her, as he claims, he should have a receipt. But he says, my receipt was lost. A similar case is where a lender produced a loan document to collect his money from the borrower, but it is now after Shemitah, when debts are canceled, and he has no prosbul with him, a document that allows the lender to claim his money even after Shemitah. The lender says that he wrote a prosbul and lost it. These two claimants, namely the woman and the lender, cannot be paid. Since the woman does not have her get, we suspect that she already used it to collect her Kesuba, and since the lender does not have a prosbul, we suspect that he never wrote one. Atana teaches that the previous laws cease to apply at a certain point in history. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, ever since the times of danger, when idolaters made decrees forbidding the Jews from doing mitzvahs, and people were afraid to keep mitzvah-related documents, a woman can collect her kesuba even without producing a get, and a lender could collect his loan even without producing a prosbul. At that time, it became practice to burn a get immediately after receiving it, and to burn a prosbul immediately after writing it. Therefore, the fact that a woman or lender fails to produce the required document in court does not give us a reason to suspect that either one is lying. The Mishnah teaches how many kesuba payments a woman can collect after two marriages to the same man, or if she has two kesuba documents from one marriage. If a woman produces two gittin and two different kesubos, which show that she married the same man twice, and that he wrote her a new kesuba each time he married her, she collects two kesubas from him. But if she produces two kesubas in one get, which show that he married her once and wrote her two kesubas during the same marriage, or if she produces a kesuba and two gittin, which show that he married her twice but wrote a kesuba only when he married her the first time, or if she produces a kesuba, a get, and proof of her husband's death, which show, as in the previous case, that he married her twice and died after the second marriage, but wrote a kesuba only when he married her the first time. In all of these three cases, she could collect only one kesuba. In the first of the three cases, where the husband wrote two kesubas for one marriage, she could collect only one of them because he never intended that she should collect both. And in the last two cases, where she has one kesuba for two marriages, she could collect only one payment, even though she was married twice, because one who divorces his wife and remarries her without writing her a new kesuba presumably remarried her on the condition that her first kesuba is effective for their second marriage as well. The Mishnah gives two other examples where a kesuba written for a first marriage suffices for a second marriage as well. If a boy was married off by his father and he wrote a kesuba for his wife, her kesuba stays in force even after becoming an adult at age 13 and remarries her, because it was on this condition that he kept her. That is, he remarries her with the understanding that the original kesuba still applies. Similarly, if a convert to Judaism converted together with his wife, and he had written her a kesuba before they converted, her kesuba stays in force even after they convert, and he remarries her because it was on this condition that he kept her. That is, he remarries her with the understanding that the original kesuba still applies.